Good morning, all. I'm Dr. Shrikala, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology from Srimati VHT Central Institute of Home Science, Bangalore. Today, I will be explaining about the histological details of pituitary gland. So, pituitary gland, as you all know, is also called as hypophysis. It is the largest endocrine gland in the body. Endocrine glands are also called as ductless glands. They produce hormones which are directly released into the blood. Pituitary is also called as master gland. The hormones secreted by pituitary are called as trophic or stimulating hormones. The location of pituitary. Pituitary is seen attached to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the ventral wall of brain. The second part of brain is called diencephalon and the ventral part of it is called hypothalamus. There you can find pituitary. Attached to it by a small stalk called infundibulum. Now coming to the anatomy of pituitary gland, it is divided into three parts. The anterior part is called as pars anterior or pars distalis. The intermediate part or a very small part in between is called as pars intermedia. The posterior part is called as pars posterior or pars nervosa and is made up of nervous tissue in general. The pars anterior and pars intermedia, that is the first two parts, together is referred to as adenohypophysis or anterior pituitary. The anterior part, that is pars distalis, also gives a small tube-like extension towards infundibulum, and that is called as pars tubularis. I will explain it to you in the next slide. So pars anterior, pars intermedia and pars tubularis together forms the adenohypophysis. The posterior part or the pars nervosa, pars posterior, along with the stalk infundibulum forms the neurohypophysis or posterior pituitary. So you can say functionally there are two parts, adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Now this is the structure of pituitary. You can see the optic chiasma, and below the optic chiasma you can see a stalk, that is infundibulum, and this whole structure, this rounded structure, is called as the pituitary. Pituitary, this is the anterior part or pars distalis, which has got a small tube-like extension, pars tubularis. The center part is called pars intermedia, which you can see clearly in the next slide. This is the posterior part or the pars nervosa along with the infundibulum. So this diagram even more clear, you can see the anterior lobe, that is pars distalis, pars tubularis and pars intermedia. So these three structures together is called as adenohypophysis. This is the posterior side along with infundibulum, or the stalk is called as the posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis. You can see very clearly in this the adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis parts of the pituitary. Coming to adenohypophysis, it's one of the major part or anterior pituitary, made up of three parts: pars anterior, pars intermedia and pars tubularis. Pars anterior has got two types of cells: chromophil cells and chromophobe cells. Chromophil cells have brightly stained granules in their cytoplasm. Chromophobe cells does not have granules. So granules are not very prominent in a chromophobe cell. There are two types of chromophil cells: acidophils or alpha cells and basophils or beta cells. So this is depending on the staining properties. The alpha cells stain with the acidic stains and basophils stain with the basic stain. The acidophils are small cells with an oval shape, and basophil cells are slightly larger than the acidophils. So these are the two major type of cells in the anterior pituitary, that is acidophils and basophils. Chromophobe cells are small and are agranular. They do not have granules. and can be converted into any type of chromophil cells. So they do not have particular function. They can be converted into any type of chromophil cells. The type of acidophil cells. There are two types of acidophil cells, somatotrophs and mammotrophs. Somatotrophs produce somatotrophic hormone or growth hormone. Mammotrophs will produce lactogenic hormone or prolactin. So two types of hormones are produced by the acidophil cells. Now these hormones will directly act on the cells. The somatotrophic hormones act on the cells, initiate mitosis and help in the growth of an individual. The mammotrophs act on the milk producing cells in the mammary gland and stimulate them to produce milk at the time of after childbirth. So type of basophil cells, there are three types: corticotrophs, thyrotrophs and gonadotrophs. Corticotrophs produce ACTH, adenocorticotrophic hormone. Thyrotrophs produce TSH or TTH, thyrotrophic hormone or thyroid stimulating hormone. Gonadotrophs, there are two types, are produced in both male and female. Now the difference between the two hormones produced by acidophil cells and the three hormones produced by the basophil cells is that the two hormones produced by the acidophil cells will directly stimulate the cells to grow or to produce milk. The basophil cells, whatever they are producing, they are called as trophic hormones, and these will stimulate other glands. For example, corticotrophs will stimulate the cortex of the adrenal gland. Thyrotrophs will stimulate thyroid gland. Gonadotrophs will stimulate ovary and testis. And under the influence of these three hormones, the three glands, that is the cortex of the adrenal, the thyroid and the ovary and testis, will produce their own hormones. So there are two types of gonadotrophs, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, which are produced in both males and females, and they have different functions. Like in females, stimulate the growth of the follicle to a Graafian follicle and stimulate the follicle cells to produce estrogen. Estrogens are the female hormones. In males, they stimulate the production of the sperm or spermatogenesis. Luteinizing hormone in females will stimulate ovulation. Then after ovulation, maturation of a corpus luteum, production of progesterone, which is the pregnancy hormone. So all these are functions of luteinizing hormone in female. In males, they will stimulate the interstitial cells, which are also known as cells of Leydig, to produce androgens, that is the male hormones. Now, the second part of adenohypophysis, pars tuberalis, that is the small knob-like structure. This consists of undifferentiated cells. Pars intermedia, that is the small part between the anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. It is not that developed in man, and some cells can produce melanocyte stimulating hormone, MSH they are called, which is concerned with the complexion or melanin production. Coming to the posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis, it includes two parts, that is pars posterior and the stalk of the pituitary, that is called infundibulum. This consists, especially pars posterior, consists numerous nerve fibers, and between that you can find a few cells called pituicytes, which are supporting cells. They do not produce any hormone. Now from the posterior pituitary, it releases two hormones, that is vasopressin, also called as antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. Vasopressin is concerned with the water regulation in the body, has an effect on the renal tubules or the kidney loop of Henle, and controls the water regulation, okay, the amount of water in the body. So that is vasopressin. Oxytocin is a hormone which is secreted during childbirth. So this helps in contraction of uterus and the cervix for a normal childbirth. Now these two hormones are secreted by the neurohypophysis. Actually, they are not produced in neurohypophysis. They are produced by different neurons, which I will show you later, and are stored. They are only stored. So we'll come to the last slide in a section. In a stained section of pituitary, this is what you will see in the anterior lobe. The ones which stain in pink color are acidophils, and one which are little larger and stain in blue color or purple color are the basophils. Now coming to the neurohypophysis, a little more explanation about that. The two hormones of neurohypophysis, that is vasopressin and oxytocin, are produced by these neurons here. They are called as paraventricular nucleus and supraoptic nucleus. So they produce vasopressin and oxytocin and pass it through the infundibulum into the posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis. So neurohypophysis only stores, that is pars nervosa only stores these hormones, and as and when required will be released into the blood. It does not produce. The production is by these nuclei here, or these nerve cells which are present here. So thank you very much. Hope this has been of some use for you. Thank you.